What's up? What's up? So, happy Black History Month. This is a personal perspective on the organic arrows lesson from Drawabox. Now, this isn't a substitute for the actual Drawabox content. I'd recommend watching Uncomfortable's video. I'm just walking through my progression and thought process. I really enjoy this exercise because it doesn't feel as rigid. And honestly, I tend to draw pretty loosely like this in my free time. So I think it's a really good warm up as well. But its strength, I believe, is seeing how lines interact and overlap with each other within space. So this exercise is broken into 3 parts for the most part. So the first part of this exercise is going back to lesson 1, and it's one drawing from your shoulder, and it should be like one fluid motion. So in the video, honestly, I kind of struggle with that. I still have a habit of drawing from my wrist, so I'm kind of working on that. But overall, you want to try to get a loosely flowing line so that you can essentially mimic it. You should be ghosting the lines as well, something I'm also not doing in the video, where you kind of, plan out your mark before you actually make it. And this way it kind of gives you confidence and an understanding of how you're going to move before you actually, commit to the mark that you're making. So the whole point is that you're drawing in pen, so everything is permanent. And when things are permanent, it makes you, take a step back a minute to make sure you know what you're actually doing, so you don't make that mistake. So the second part to this exercise is drawing another offset line, similar to the first one. And this line is the most challenging part because it makes or breaks the illusion you're trying to create. So essentially, you're drawing the same line, just literally offset from the first one. And essentially, this is what's going to help create that illusion. And there are some tips, like as far as overlapping, to help kind of show the space in between the arrows. Another thing that I'm doing is like shading the inside so that to actually showcase how this line is actually moving. The last part of this exercise is to close off the lines and create the arrow. Now, this is the final portion of the drawing, and essentially, once you finish the lines, you kind of want to take a step back and make comparisons to see how well, you did. And honestly, just get ready to move on to the next exercise. A big thing that I'm trying to do when I do these is not worry about getting them perfect, because the whole point is to try to understand the concept. And I know that there are a few mistakes that I can definitely still work on, but this is definitely, one of the more laid back, exercise for lesson 2. And I'm gonna try to keep building on it. Like I said, I feel like for me, I tend to use the Drawabox lessons as warm-ups whenever I try to do a new drawing, or whenever I'm just trying to get my ideas out, just because I feel like it gets you in a good frame of mind of when you actually do start to draw. All right, implementing these in your drawing, implementing the concepts and the methods that you learn here, because this is the foundation essentially. So it's all boring, it's not very flashy, but I will say that these exercises help me improve my artwork, and I need to stay consistent with it. And if you're trying to get better, I suggest that you stay consistent with it too, just because it's a momentum game, and you kind of got to build, the more mileage you get out of it, the more you start to understand. And that's where I'm starting to figure out with art, watching some of these great artists that, you got to kind of keep drawing over and over again to really understand the principles behind it. And, sometimes I feel like it can be more like innate or intuition based, and not everything that you read is going to immediately stick to you. So it's a balance of reading and understanding techniques, the foundations, but then also allowing yourself to play and experiment with the art that you're making. And you have to balance that out. That's how you can create good art, in my opinion. Because it's not always have to be super technical to be great. But yeah, this is Drawabox Lesson 2, Exercise 1. I'm going to try to come back with a couple more videos, just doing voiceovers over it. But thank you.